You did?
I did.
No.
Really?
I tried to tell y'all we should do this at the church.
To your room, mister. Or wherever you're going. Cave.
I have a project for you.
She's got work for you to. Oh, no, you're not.
You married that.
You did. You married that.
I was young.
You were not. Oh.
So I already had given birth by the time we got
that's
married.
true.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We got married when Hairball was 5 months.
Jeff, what took you so long?
I said
I
no.
was trying to find a better model.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I said no.
You said no?
Yes.
Good for you, Gwen.
I said I'll wait, but you got to straighten some stuff out first. I'm not saddling myself with that mess. You don't make a bunch of bad decisions to try to fix a bad decision.
Yeah. Where are we going?
Psalms 1.
This will be good. I can't see. You know why?
Glasses?
Uh-huh.
They're on your head.
No, those are not. Those are not
Are you
glasses.
ever gonna only have one pair of glasses?
Probably not, because
I thought you got new glasses.
I don't like. I don't want to wear bifocals.
There's some glasses on your head.
Those are my driving glasses.
Oh.
Man.
I'm not as old as you. I still only have to have one pair.
I'm dead.
You're dead or I'm dead.
Oh my God. I'll be dead before you because I'm older than you.
I don't know. I'm married to him.
That's right. Never mind. Scratch that. All right. I think I'm good now. Let's take these off. Let's put these on. All right. Good evening, everybody. What's on my head? Oh, pumpkins.
It does look like it's riding on your head. Would you like me to move the pumpkins or are you
No.
obsessed?
They're fine. I don't look at that often. Good evening, everybody, and sorry, Bible study's starting a little late tonight. You know, we have some things going on, so, but hey, we're here. It's better late than never is what I always say. I'm Vicki, as you know, and everyone knows Mecedes, and everyone should know Miss Gwen Shipley. She's been with us before on Bible study. Oh, I went to reach for my glasses and they weren't there. Tonight we are at the Shipley's home, and I will say thank you to Pastor and Gwen for dinner. It was lovely. It's very nice. I know that you didn't eat that food, but it was good. It was good. I had the famous pork chop.
Well, it wasn't my pork chop.
Oh,
I don't know how he did his pork chops. But
I don't feel like I need your pork chops.
You
Oh,
like
because yours were pretty good. Sounds like yours are better.
I don't know. He learned how to make them from me.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, they were good. Whenever you taught him,
I don't know what he did, but
it worked out well.
did he like the grill?
Yeah,
He was on the grill when I got
okay,
here.
Okay.
and onion rings.
Oh, and the onion rings are really good.
Charlie's Meat Market.
Really?
Yes.
They're already breaded?
Yes.
And it seems like they have, you don't have to put salt or anything on them. There's something that, I don't know. They were
Jeff's picky about his onion rings, and there's 2 kinds he likes. Kroger has one brand, it's like Alexia or something like that, and then Charlie's Meat Market.
good.
And so,
I didn't know they had them there.
yes.
All right. There you go. Charlie's Meat Market for onion rings because they're good.
And that meat was from Charlie's too, because I don't pick up my Kroger click list until tomorrow. And that didn't take care of Thursday dinner, so.
Those pork chops were really good, and they were nice sized pork chops. They weren't like those real thin. They were good cuts. So anyway, so tonight, again, we're here at the Shipleys, and thank you for having us. That's why I can't see. It's bad. I'm a little off. So Gwen stepped in tonight for us. I won't say last minute, but close to last minute because we've had some issues with some scheduling, people having to back out for certain things, and so I want to thank you for stepping in for us because if not, then the lovely people would have Just me and Mecedes.
One of my favorites was y'all's very first one, though. Y'all should do another one, just the two of y'all, because y'all are a dynamic duo.
We were nervous as all get out the first one.
Oh, but y'all's communication was fantastic.
We can communicate well.
So y'all should do another one sometime. It's just y'all.
We probably will. We probably will have to soon because we're not having a lot of people wanting to do this much. I know, that's what I said. Who doesn't want to share the word of God?
Right?
Especially with me and Mecedes.
Especially when you get to pick the passage.
Right, you pick the verse that we're going to discuss. It's not like we're throwing you out in left field and saying, this is what we're going to talk about with you, okay? So, tonight, Gwen has chosen
Psalms chapter 1 in honor of Mama. I say in honor of Mama. Mama's still here. It's not in memory of Mama. It's in honor of Mama.
Right.
I have, growing up, heard her teach on this passage many a times, and I think that it has been part of the foundation of how I have, for the most part, kept myself on the right track, kept myself from poor decisions, and focused on choosing godliness came from this passage.
Because, you know, we all struggle with that. I mean,
It never goes away.
I mean, it's something it's a daily, it's like a tug of war sometimes.
But the formula on how to do it right is right here in these few, 6 verses? Yeah, 6 verses.
So it's that whole chapter.
Well, yeah, the main part is just is verse 1 and 2, but, you know,
All right,
it's only,
Mecedes.
the whole chapter is only 6 verses.
The whole chapter, Mecedes. You think you can handle that?
Yeah, I've read a longer chapter before.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I laid one on one like Gwen. It was
Like 30 verses? And I went, really?
So we're on Psalms 1
1 through 6.
1 through 6.
How happy is the man who does not follow the advice of the wicked, or take the path of sinners, or join a group of mockers. Instead, his delight is in the Lord's instructions, and he meditates on it day and night. He is like a tree planted beside streams of water that bears its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. Whatever he does prospers.
Whatever he does prospers.
Right. There should have been a comma. The wicked are not like this. Instead, they're like chaff. They're like chaff that the wind blows away.
I think chaff, I'm not positive, but I think it's the wasted part of the top of wheat
Gotcha.
that after they've harvested it just kind of blows away. I think that's what chaff is.
That makes sense.
Therefore, the wicked will not survive the judgment, and sinners will not be in the community of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to ruin.
All right, Gwen. Now that we've learned what chaff was.
I just, for the first time ever, I hope that I'm right in that wording, in that definition. But I've never noticed this before. See, this is how God's word is, because you always get something new out of it.
Yes, you do.
The wicked are not like this. Instead, they're like the chaff. So the harvest has already happened. God's already taken his people out, and the leftover, the wind just blows them away,
This
and they're
says-
worthless.
Chaff, the useless product of threshing, is a contrast to the fruit in the previous verse.
So threshing is the threshing floor where you do wheat. You go and beat it and get the good stuff out, and chaff is what's left.
Perfect. Now it's making sense, because I was really going, what's Gwen going to bring out of this? So, go ahead.
I can remember one of the things Mom emphasized, and of course when I was brought up, everything was all King James. And in the King James it says blessed, but happy is fine, is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, or stands in the way of sinners, or sits in the seat of scornful. And that, for me, was always the progression that I always watched. That when I'm heading in the wrong direction, I'm heading towards poor decisions, sin, all that. It first just starts with walking along somebody that's ungodly. I'm not really like all up in them. I'm just near them. I'm just walking along with them. But then I start standing around them and hanging with them. And before you know it, I'm sitting right in the midst of them and I'm immersed in it. And that formula starts out this chapter of whenever my spirit isn't right and I feel like me and God have gotten this far, this is always where I start, is who am I walking around? Who am I standing around? Who is influencing my life? And usually I have allowed myself to start letting other people talk into my life. I may not be, very seldom, a few times, but very seldom have I gotten to the point where I'm just sitting right in the midst of them. I mean, I would definitely say before I was married and I was all swimming in
Right.
poor decisions and sin and people that were not encouraging me towards God's word. But it doesn't ever start there. As Christians, we don't start out just, I'm ready to be ungodly and go plop ourselves in the midst of the ungodly people. That's not how it happens. We just start walking alongside them and they just start chattering with us.
Kind of like the whisper in the ear.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of slow down and stand around and, so what else you got to say?
Right.
And then before you know it, and then it's contrasted. Instead, his delight is in the Lord's instruction or in the law of the Lord. So the contrast to that is I don't need to be with these people. I need to be with people that are going to instruct me in the ways of the Lord.
Right.
And it doesn't matter how long we've been walking with the Lord, we always need to follow this plan.
Because it's when you get to that certain, you're kind of like, who have I been hanging around with that's making me?
Mm-hmm.
What is the not object, but what is the wickedness that? And really and truthfully, if you sit back and you look at people and you think about who it is and what it is, sometimes it'll be really shocking to you. I mean, because, and I hate to say this, but it's even happened with me when it comes to people even in the church.
Well, and that's what I was about to say. For me, in the place where I am now in my life, I mean, I'm not going to say this isn't a prideful statement of me being above sin. We all are depraved in our nature and forgiven and have the Spirit that helps us to make godly decisions. But I'm not going to go and sit amongst people, snorting cocaine or, getting drunk. I mean, I'm far enough in my life now. That's not a temptation for me. But the sins that I'm watching out for now is dissatisfaction. When I hear myself complaining about every little thing, well, who am I hanging out with that is just complaining about every little thing instead of encouraging me to be grateful, to share the love of the Lord, to be an influence on others towards, I mean, there's so much to be grateful for. And then sometimes, and I hear it mostly in my accountability group when I'm telling them the things I'm struggling with, I'm like, what the heck am I struggling with this for? I mean, and why am I this struggle? Why am I saying this to my coworkers and to how are other people seeing me? Are they seeing the Lord, or are they seeing someone that is bitter,
Dissatisfied?
and yes, discontent and just miserable? That's not going to attract anybody.
No.
To say, let me see the Lord that's in your life today. I mean, just today I was talking with a coworker, and she's facing some things coming up and facing fear, and I said to her, we get complacent in life to where until there's turmoil, we don't really notice and feel and appreciate peace.
Right.
Well, until we are in a place where we can hear the things coming out of our mouth, we're not going to appreciate the gratitude until we hear all the negative that's coming out of us, and we're like, why am I saying all the negative? I need to be focusing in on all the things that God, the ways He has answered prayer. You did that to me the other day when you talked about the man that broke into the church and being grateful that he did not vandalize our church. And that really, I mean, he could have. He could have spray painted things. He could have
knocked every single pane out of the glass in the doors, going from the sanctuary to the
used the
hallway.
restroom place. I mean, all
He
kinds
could
of
have done-
horrible
yeah.
things that people would have had to clean up and we would have had to recover from. And he didn't.
Mm-mm.
We walked in there Wednesday night and had church like normal without, I mean, I appreciated you because I was, yes, it still feels like a violation to our home, our church home, but there was a lot in that moment to be grateful for. That we lost some things, but we didn't, our home was not destroyed.
No, and nobody was there. Nobody was hurt. Nobody. So, I consider it a blessing. I really do. And because that's why when it came out that what time he went into the building, I was like,
We just left.
we were just there.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and think about it, honestly, with the ones that were in that room with us in that meeting, had the pastor walked out, Josiah walked out, Jeremiah walked out of that door, and there'd been a man standing there, things might not have ended up very well.
Especially for him.
My point. That's my point.
But think about if it had been you ladies that had walked out.
Right. It could have been
Could
bad for us.
Yes.
So, but it's just the fact of, because when it came out, by the time he was in the building, I was like, thank you. Just thank you.
So I've been trying to reflect on, yes, I always try to reflect on, are these people in my life and who of these people needs to not be in my life? But am I one of these people to somebody else?
Gwen.
Are they reading this passage and saying, man, Gwen really leads me to think negatively. Gwen really leads me to be bitter and to, feel resentful.
You just dropped a bomb, Gwen. Because I hadn't even looked at it like that yet.
Well, I didn't mean to drop a bomb. Isn't that a song?
You dropped the bomb on me.
There you
Oh,
go.
I'm sorry.
Baby.
Baby. I wasn't going to say that part. But now that you say that, it's very important for us to really pay attention to what we're, what's the word called? Not excreting. What is it when you shed? Is it a word I shouldn't say?
I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
I just know you don't say excrete because that's not the right word.
Okay, well that's not the right word because we all know that I never have the right word. Well, you know how
Like your skin sloughs off. I don't know what you're trying to say.
what kind of
Cliffhanger, guys.
Vibe?
I don't like to use that word either, Gwen.
What is she trying to say?
Energy. Example.
Influence.
There's one. Yeah, we'll use that one. That one's a good one too. Example, influence. Are we leading with people that we are around? Thanks, y'all. Man, that was a tough one. That was
I was
like
about
a
to break
toothful.
out the thesaurus.
Oh, thanks. you know, I was. Well, you know what I was trying to say. Excreting, but isn't that?
Stop saying. Yes, that's what it is.
Okay, back to Psalms.
Sorry. God, I had bad timing on words.
Yeah, you do.
I came up with a good word and it's still the wrong word. Anyways, but it's really, are we sharing or are we showing the love of the Lord and not only just the love of the Lord, but the mercy and the grace that He gives us, and are we living the life that we are expecting the person sitting next to us to live? Is that where you're going?
Yes. not where I'm going with this.
I didn't say any words.
This is a 3-person Bible study.
Well, you're the one that just spattered all that and dropped the bomb on me, baby. But you know, I did never. I mean, I was looking at it like you were giving it to us the first time, and then when you started going backwards with it on how we could actually be doing this with two other people, giving them the wrong sign or giving them
For me,
the
it's
wrong attitude.
I have to be very careful about venting. That is not an unhealthy thing, and with a trusted person, sometimes for me, when I vent, and I have a couple people that, depending on what the situation is and who's available, that I would call and vent to, and it's people that know me. They've known me long enough. They know my heart, and most of the time when I vent, I either get to the bottom of what's wrong by hashing it out, and I'll get to, that's what's really bothering me. I'll put my finger on it, and then I can go and deal with it, because that's the whole purpose. Is if somebody's offended you or your feelings are hurt about something, you need to get to the bottom of it, to a resolution.
Yeah.
An action that you should have to take, whether it's inside yourself or somebody else you need to take the action with. But if I'm venting and there is no purpose of drawing a conclusion, then I'm just stirring up bitterness and anger perhaps in that person, drawing them onto my side, and then at that point we're standing in the way of, we're standing there together. We skipped from step 1 and we're right in step 2. So I have to really be cautious about venting and what my motive is. And I don't need to vent to 2 different people or 3 different people. That one person that I choose is a godly person and is going to give me godly wisdom should help me receive a conclusion, and then I need to move on and deal with that. However that led me, a lot of times, just hearing myself say it
You're
corrects
like,
myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, man, I sound really stupid right
And
now.
exactly. I'm like, I sound, no, I'm wrong.
Right.
You know, usually when I say it out loud, I'm like, is that really what I'm saying? That is really horrible. And then I don't need to go talk to somebody else. I myself need to confess and repent and move on that I had the wrong perspective. So that the venting is the one I think that we use that as a word that gives us a pass on being able to go. Yes. Because sometimes you do need to vent, but that's my big thing. One person. I only need to vent to one person. And then you look at Matthew, and if I couldn't get my resolution there, figure out what was wrong and go and deal with that person, then I might need to take it to somebody of leadership if it's that big of a deal. But very seldom when we're venting is it that big of a deal.
Right.
It's usually us having a wrong perspective of something. You know, I know with Jeff, a lot of times when I'm upset with him, when I go through it in my head or to that one trusted person, in the end, my end result is I probably misunderstood, because that is not really the character of my husband over 20 plus years, 25 plus years now of marriage. So I need to give him the benefit of the doubt that I am misunderstanding what he said or what his intention was, because it doesn't mesh with who he has proven to be over a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's something that I've had to do in my marriage also, but we're pushing 23 years, I think, this year.
yeah, I think Jeff and I are 28, maybe. I don't know. We were born in 92, January of 92, whatever that
You were
means.
born in
Married
92?
in-
I mean, married.
28.
You're so
Thank
young.
you.
You're so
28.
young. Oh, you got
I
me.
was born in 92.
There you go.
But I isn't it just so easy? Isn't it just so easy when you've just been so fed up?
Especially in the workforce.
Yeah.
You know, when you're dealing with people, things don't go the right way. It's easy to get frustrated. It's easy to not act appropriately in that frustration.
Yeah. That's true. Because and I'll tell her myself, today I went into work today. Was supposed to be having this person come in from out of town and everything, we had to get all this stuff done before they came. Well, they ended up not coming, and we weren't told until like right before they were supposed to be there. And I got really, really frustrated because I went into work a little early to get a few things done because I wasn't there yesterday. I had a doctor's appointment. After it was all said and done, the two people that I work with real close to, they know that I'm a Christian. They know that I don't fly off the handle. I don't do that. I walked over beside one of them's desk and they were like, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." Yeah. You're not acting like yourself. Well, at that point, now that all this has come up, I looked at them and I said, "No, I'm fine. But now it makes sense that they're not used to seeing me or hearing me, which I didn't say anything bad, but they just heard the displeasure in the tone that I had in my voice, and they've not ever heard that before. So I'm going to have to straighten out a few
Well,
things.
that's convicting.
I'm going to have to straighten out a few
I
things.
don't know if any of my coworkers would ever recognize a pleasure in a tone of displeasure because it's happened so often.
Really?
Yes, so that's very convicting.
I'm sorry.
They would probably just
I just
think
went
that
through
that's
about
not
a
normal.
conviction through what you said, so there, you can have it back. Anyways.
Because I fall into being grumpy and complaining way too often. I complain way too often.
Well, see, that's one thing that I try not. I do pretty good at not complaining a lot. I was a huge complainer. I complained in my marriage for 15 years. Tired of that. And that's why I do complain, but I try to minimize. And I have to be really, really perturbed about something. Really.
Well, that's why the venting to one person helps me, because I'll hear me say it, and then I'll be like, is that really what I sound like? Like, you have to say it out loud, and then you hear yourself, and you're like, well, I don't want anybody to hear me say something like that.
I think I vented to you one day. Did I vent to you one day?
I mean, you talk.
That she does.
The other day, she sent me a Marco Polo.
Mic drop for Mecedes.
It took me so long to get through it, and it wasn't necessarily because
It was long.
It was long, but I kept having. I shouldn't say work kept interrupting. I was at work, but I kept having to hit pause to do my actual job because somebody would be needing a question. I had like 2 hours later, I got through her 25-minute Marco Polo.
And she's like, I don't know if I can remember everything you said because it took me 2 hours.
Yeah, I was like, I can't remember everything I'm supposed to respond.
There's plenty of times with her, I'm like, I get on there and I go, yeah, I don't remember anything that you just said.
I hate it
so
when they
much.
started charging for Marco Polo. I missed that 2 times fast forward. I
It's also
missed it.
2.5 and 3 times.
I'm
too.
not paying for it. I am not. I will keep the free version and just hit pause a lot. You're not the only person I want fast forward
This
on.
is hilarious. Well, the thing is that I talk a lot, and I talk to several people on my way to work in the mornings. So when I wake up, it's like, I gotta remember to tell so-and-so this, and I gotta remember to tell so-and-so that. And that's what I was talking, actually, the pastor and I sat out front for a while and chatted a lot. And I told him, I said, ministry work is kind of tough. And he goes, yeah, why do you think nobody's lined up outside the door to take your job? But it's so fulfilling. Like, I have gotten to know so many people and gotten to know them, you know. But anyways, so and I love it now that I'm in the midst of it. At first, it's kind of oh, what has he done to me, kind of thing. But now it's like,
and you drank the Kool-Aid.
I did, and it's cherry. Yeah, like her hair.
Haircut.
But anyways,
That's why we were late. I got a haircut. You
It looks
can
nice.
have one too.
you can have one too.
Gotta get one soon.
Gwen said you could have one.
Give permission. Do my haircut. Just kidding.
But anyway, yes, Gwen got her hair done.
Yeah,
I
chopped
like
a
the
lot
back of
off.
it. I like the back of it.
I haven't even seen the back of it. It looks great.
You didn't get to see the back of it?
No.
You got up and ran, didn't you?
No, I did not get up and ran. I got up and paid.
Are we done?
Josiah would have appreciated that one.
Yes, that one was for him.
And I did not speed on my drive home.
No, I was kind of worried though when you called. I thought
That's hands free.
I was thinking she didn't give her phone time to connect with her car. That's why I was like, Gwen, just get off the phone. No.
My phone was sitting in the what do you call it? Not coffee holder. That's
Okay.
what usually
The
goes to
cup holder.
the cup holder.
Well, as women, we like to vent a lot. Now, there is a huge difference, and let's get this clear, and let's clear the smoke in the air. There's a huge difference between venting to one person, or correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Venting to that one person to hear yourself, or gossiping.
And all has to do with the motive. That's why I said when I vent to one person, it is to draw a conclusion. Either of myself correcting my course, repenting, whatever is necessary,
Right.
and moving on, changing my mindset,
Kind of to get yourself
or
straight
to get to the
first.
bottom of the problem and then go deal with the real issue, the real problem. If you don't do one of those two things, then your venting was gossip. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
That if there is not an action, it doesn't have to be, if there's not a verb at the end of your venting, well, it doesn't necessarily have to be an action. It could be, I guess prayer is an action. Confessing is an action. Yes, if there's not an action,
You
sorry,
said a verb?
a doing,
An
action.
verb, is that what you're talking about?
an action. Just forget verb.
Action.
I didn't
Verbs
say
are
verb.
actions.
Action.
If you don't do an action at the end of your venting, then you just gossiped. You didn't vent.
So if you don't move forward one way or the other, which is an
You don't
action.
change something.
Discuss it. Talk it out. Whatever it was with that person.
Yes.
Pray about it.
That's between you and God. You can vent to God all day long.
Honey, I know.
He keeps your secrets.
Let me tell you. And I know I have just burnt his ear off several days. He's probably going, will you please stop, child? Please stop. I've got this.
He's a good one to vent to because he already knows it.
Right.
He knows the thoughts and the struggles you got going on in your
I wonder
head.
if he puts you on 2 times.
No, you didn't. Did you just say, does God put me on 2 times? I bet he's got 10 times.
So why did I give her so many words?
But I
She's
don't know
working on her vocabulary
I don't, I
words.
don't
She
know how to
practiced
use them
one
right.
tonight.
He needs to teach me how to use them right. Thanks, Mecedes. Guess we're done. I don't have any more words. I ran out. Have you ever seen that movie 10,000 Words or 1,000 Words?
No. Are you sure it's real?
No, I'll have to look it up when we get finished.
The choir last night, Mary Love was talking about some movie. I'm like, are you sure that's real? Something about an angel in your pocket or something. I'm like, I ain't never heard of that. But then I'm not a movie person anyway, so
That explains a lot.
I don't watch many movies.
I used to. Then my anxiety got really bad and I can't sit still during a movie. Scott will say, how many loads of laundry are you going to do during this movie?
All of them.
Right. Because especially if it's an action movie. Oh. No. Wow, I've learned a lot tonight. I hope y'all have learned a lot tonight too. Because I sure have. That is, and this is a Miss Suzanne word, huh? This is something that she used.
Yeah.
She uses.
I think she taught it to every youth class she ever taught.
Well, I, for one, thank you for sharing it with me and with us because I did not know that. I wasn't in her youth. Too old to be in her youth at any point in time in my life. But I have never, honestly, I've heard the verse used, but I've never looked at it like that before. I've never picked it apart, I guess you could say, or gained knowledge of the meaning, especially of the word
Chaff.
So, but anyways, thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much for having us tonight. We didn't mind waiting for you to get your hair done.
It's my tradition. I get it done every time before I go on vacation.
Yeah. I leave Saturday.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Nobody out there in cyber world try to break into our homes. We do still have people that live in our homes while we're gone.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. My house has never left. My house has never left not empty.
not empty.
The house has never left empty.
There you go.
There's always somebody. In my house.
Jeremiah's here. That's enough said.
Right.
I mean, Ashley and little Jeff are here too, but you know, Jeremiah's here.
Yeah, he's the one that'll spring off the balcony and jump down. Ah! Right. There you go. But anyways, thanks a million for having us tonight. Mercedes, thank you for the proper reading of the scripture. I know it was a little rocky there for a minute. But there was some whatever he does prospers, huh?
It was the lack of proper, what I feel should be proper grammar.
It's whatever he does prospers.
Whatever he does prospers. There should be a comma.
Well, you cannot pay attention to the what in the Bible.
I know, but when you're reading out loud,
It's just
proper grammar is important.
Karina and you are going to get along.
In the King James it says, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
Do it.
So it has shall there.
Sounds,
Have it.
yeah,
Have it. Do it.
That's-
Thou.
that wouldn't have confused
I
me,
memorized
the lack
this
of-
as a kid
Oh,
in King
sure.
James, so I get thrown sometimes when I'm trying to read it out of this version because my head wants to say
What do you have?
Holman.
Me too. Yours isn't laid out like mine.
And it's because you have study Bible and she doesn't.
Sorry, I have to have study.
This was like one of the very first years that Holman came out.
Oh.
Actually, the very first year it came out, I was at the Southern Baptist Convention and they gave me one of the first copies of it. I mean, not just me. Every pastor's
I was
wife
about to
got
say-
one.
When won the door prize?
In the pastor's wives conference, every
okay.
pastor's wife got one.
Oh,
It's a
that's
small
nice.
version. It's the full. It's not just a New Testament, but it's small, almost like a New Testament. It's pretty worn out because I would carry it in the diaper bag and in my purse, and because it was
Oh.
nice and small and compact and easy to carry to church or places.
And you can throw it in the dark because you carried one for many years.
A lot of years.
Yes, you did. All right, y'all. We're gonna sit here and probably chat for a while longer, but we're gonna let y'all go.
Bye.
So y'all have a great evening. Thanks again, Gwen.
You're welcome.